As the government is making it easier for everyday families, for Kiwis to deal with their finances by easing some of the anti-money laundering rules. Parents trying to open a bank account for their child will no longer have to provide piles of paperwork. Just a birth certificate will do, as long as the account has low-risk settings like a $1,000 transaction limit. The reforms don't stop there. Selling a house through a family trust will also become less a bureaucratic headache. Real estate agents will be able to use simplified checks for transactions deemed low risk, verifying trustee details and ownership without having to chase down information on every beneficiary or the origins of the money. Associate Justice Minister Nicole McKee says the current system treats honest families like potential criminals. This also gives clearer guidelines to lawyers, agents, and accountants. And the Minister joins me now. Nicole, good afternoon. Always good to talk to you.
Good afternoon, Leah. Great to be speaking with you.
Now, can we start with opening a bank account for a child? Why was something as simple as putting pocket money savings away being treated like a potential money laundering risk?
Yeah, that's right. And if I can take a minute, Leah, to just sort of step back in time, it was 18 months ago I became a Minister of the Crown. And one of the first letters I got was from a lady who was really complaining that she could not open a bank account for her child. And I thought, why not? You know, I come from the era, maybe I'm showing my age, but I come from the era where the Post Bank used to come to school with the little books and they taught us about saving money and, you know, they'd take away your $1 coin. Oh, actually, we had $1 notes back then.
That's right.
Or
yeah.
$2 notes and put it into your bank account. So I was like, what do you mean a child can't open a bank account? This is New Zealand. You should be able to do that. Then I found out it was anti-money laundering rules that are stopping us from doing that. But it also came to my attention that with trusts, when you want to buy or sell a house, that becomes an issue with having to verify who you are. And then I had more letters or more conversations with people who said, why do I have to keep verifying every time I go to my lawyer or when I want to buy a house or do anything in my trust? Why do I have to keep doing this over and over and over again? They would have more copies of my trust deed and my birth certificate than any other agency in New Zealand. So I asked our team, what is this? And they all said, it's anti-money laundering. And I said, but we're not criminals. Why are we treating everyone like criminals? Why can kids not open a bank account? And they said it's because of the settings. And effectively, if you don't mind me explaining it a bit.
Yeah, do it. I was going to ask how you've simplified it. Yeah.
Yeah, so we effectively, New Zealand has signed up to an international regime to go after organised crime, meth, drugs and dirty money that is going across the world. And when we signed up to that, about 12 years ago, we signed up to it, said, yes, we're going to do this, we're going to join in the world and crush the money laundering and the criminal organisations, but we never told New Zealand how they could mitigate any risk. And so what we did was we got 3 supervisors who were meant to give advice to real estate agents, lawyers, accountants, to tell them what risk that they could take. And they never did it. And the reason why they didn't do it is because they were confined within their own legislative settings or statutory body settings, and they often conflicted with each other. So no advice got out there, and all our businesses have been taking risk to the extreme. So our banks, our accountants, and I don't think that New Zealanders realised it was all because of this anti-money laundering act that we have in place. So I've asked the officials, first and foremost, can we get kids to be able to open bank accounts? Because that's just a fundamental Kiwi thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm really pleased that over the last 18 months I've been able to pull together an omnibus bill, which is being written at the moment, that's going to make some of the specified changes that you've said. And that includes being able to take a birth certificate to a bank to show that that child is your child and you'd like to open a bank account for them. And, of course, if we look at the money laundering side of it as well, there are, I guess, some criminals who would like to try and open accounts under children's names and launder money. That will always be a risk.
Sure.
But if we put a transaction limit on those accounts, it may be 1,000. I mentioned 1,000. It could be a different amount. It'll be up to the banks. But if they start seeing transactions or suspicious transactions, say $5,000 being deposited every day for a week, sort of thing, then they can go to the financial intelligence unit and say, we're seeing something odd here.
Yeah. But Nicole,
Yes.
with that, you've said 1,000. You just said, though, it's up to the banks to put that limit in?
Yeah, so what we want to do is allow the banks to be able to mitigate the risks themselves. So instead of us coming in and saying, hey, I think it's a good idea, $1,000, the banks may come back when the bill is in select committee and say, actually, that's too much or it's too little. So we'll let them set what is the right settings for them. And so another part of what I've announced today is a national strategy. So I've identified certain things: low risk trusts, kids' bank accounts, the fact that the Financial Intelligence Unit don't have any teeth to investigate. So I'm making changes in these areas, really good changes, will give instant relief to those people out there who are struggling. And with me doing that, being able to go out there and give this relief, I'm going, there's got to be more. There's got to be more. So we're going to have a national strategy where we go out to industry and say, what else can we do? How else can we help you to grow, to allow Kiwis to be a part of business and to get off their backs with red tape and compliance that doesn't make them any safer or do anything for them? How can we help you to grow? And the national strategy will identify other areas that we'll be able to change in the coming years, make life better for people.
Can I ask about because I mean with the opening a kid's bank account? Yeah, I mean it did sound like a little bit of a nightmare. I'm not sure exactly what you need at the moment. Besides, what do you need at the moment besides a birth certificate? What other forms of identification?
Yeah, so what they ask, and it's not just children either, it's actually some of our elderly widows, because what they require from you is photo ID. So what child has a photo ID if they're a newborn? Or they'll say, can you prove that you live in the house that you live in? So we want a bill with your name on it. No child has a bill with their name on it.
Even
at
that
their
for
address.
children?
For children.
Oh, gosh.
Yes. And so parents are unable to comply because they don't have photo ID and they have no bills with their kids' name on it.
Their 5-year-old's currently paying. Yeah.
Yeah.
How ridiculous.
The elderly widows, the same thing's happening to them where they didn't drive, husband drove them everywhere. So the husband had a license, driver license, photo ID. All the bills were in the husband's name. And now the husband's passed away and the widow's trying to get her own bank account and pay her own bills, but she has no photo ID because she has no license and she has no bills with her name on it either. So she's in the same predicament as the kids. And that's nuts, Leah.
It is nuts. With the trust, changing the family trust strategy, some critics say that, people use trust to hide ownership, avoid taxes or dodge debt. Are you concerned any relaxing of these rules would see this rise?
No, I'm not. And the reason why is because we've identified that there are over 700,000 trusts in New Zealand. That's quite a lot. 400,000 of them are already deemed to be low-level risk. And so these are the ones that we are going to say, we're going to give you a bit of relief. Who are these people? These are farmers who put their farms into trusts. These are young couples who are looking to protect their property. And quite often when they sell or purchase, they're using the same lawyer. The lawyer knows that they've purchased that. The lawyer may have even instigated the trust for them. And so when it's low level and it's obvious that they have purchased this farm or they're going to purchase another one or sell that one and buy another one, they shouldn't have to jump through the hoops when the lawyer already knows who they are, may have already done the trust deed for them. But where we've got a lot of money moving through trusts, and that does happen, and it's estimated 300,000 higher level trusts, then we're going to follow the money and we're going to look at them and make sure that they do what we call enhanced customer due diligence, so we can follow the money and make sure that it's clean. But what I call this for those 400,000 trusts, family trusts, low-level risk trusts, they will have simplified customer due diligence. So really, the lawyer would just be able to say, yep, I've seen the trust deed, I know who all these people are, and it's all looking good, carry on.
Right. How will you ensure these professionals like these lawyers and the real estate people and feel confident applying these relaxed rules without maybe fearing they're doing something wrong?